We are so close to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but there are still so many things that happened at the Monaco Grand Prix that we feel we haven't fully processed yet. Red Bull won, of course. We all knew that would happen considering the form Mercedes has been in. But the shocking part is, it wasn't Verstappen that won from Red Bull, but rather his supporting driver, Sergio Perez. First up, Perez makes history with first win at Monaco. The Monaco Grand Prix was dramatic to say the least. It started a couple hours after its original start time because it was raining cats and dogs on the street circuit. Once the race began, it was just chaotic and messy. Amidst the chaos, Sergio Perez, a veteran Mexican racer, emerged victorious. At first, Charles Leclerc of Ferrari was expected to win. He had the skill set and the advantage of Monaco being his home. He had also walked on the same streets for all of his life. However, once the messy race began, it appeared as if Carlos Sainz of Ferrari would be winning the race. But plot twist, Perez outsmarted Ferrari and took the lead. Charles Leclerc and his team just did not switch from all-weather tires to dry tires fast enough once the track began to dry. This made him drop from the first position to the fourth, opening the door for Perez to jump to the front. So, how did he win? It seems quite crazy, doesn't it? Perez finally beats his own teammate to win the race. To top all this off, this wasn't even a part of their strategy. Red Bull still wanted Verstappen to win. All of this started with the rain. Everything was chaotic. Then, Ferrari made a blunder with their tires which put Leclerc behind Perez, which led to him letting go of his dreams of winning the Grand Prix. With Ferrari throwing away their 1-2 victories because of a disastrous pit stop, Red Bull was able to take advantage by bringing Perez into the stop at the right moment. The circuit was rapidly drying and the first 4 cars, all Ferraris and Red Bulls, had a huge decision to make. They could either come in for new all-weather tires or stay out long enough for the track to dry and come in for the hard tires. It was going to be a tough call. While the latter worked for the Spanish driver Carlos Sainz, who crossed his teammates, Red Bull took their time to analyze the situation. They brought Perez in at the right moment and he eventually became the leader of the race. Next, brains over speed. If you're a strategist for any Formula One team, you know how crucial your role is. Not only are variable factors changing constantly, but also the pressure of making last-minute split-second decisions is quite a responsibility. At the same time, you need to ensure your driver is cool, calm, and collected. All of this in a sport full of emotions. Luckily for Red Bull, though, their strategist knew what she was doing. Hannah Schmitz, a University of Cambridge alumni who has been with Red Bull for 13 years, was in charge of making the decision. She had analyzed tons of data and collaborated with Red Bull's engineers to make that decision. Looks like her experience and skill set just made sure Red Bull wins the Constructors' Championship. To top it all off, Sergio Perez wasn't at all happy with his decision when it was being made. Schmitz had a macro view of the race, but Perez believed that the strategy used by Sainz was the one to go with. We bet he's super glad he didn't employ that strategy though. When I was on the inters, I was like, I think we messed up. The track was already quite dry and it just seemed like a matter of a couple laps before we had to switch to regular tires. However, there was someone who wasn't satisfied with the result. Any guesses? It was none other than Max Verstappen's dad. The Dutch father felt that Red Bull prioritized Perez over his son. And now, Jos Verstappen not happy with Red Bull. Max Verstappen's dad, Jos Verstappen, was extremely critical of Red Bull's Grand Prix strategy and stated that the team should have prioritized Max, not Perez. Perez won because of an aggressive tire strategy, and Max got the podium without any effort because of Ferrari's blunders. Jos believes that because Max already has 2 retirements, he needs to be prioritized to have a proper chance of winning the Drivers' Championship. Although Verstappen leads by 9 points, Joe stated that Red Bull's car is not tuned to Max's driving style. To top it all off, Red Bull has stated it will not be prioritizing Max for the championship. The team will be focusing on the Constructors' Cup and will not be providing any driver priority over the other. This will reduce any grievances from Perez's side, but Verstappen might have an issue with it though. Although, Jos is not the only one who's upset. The win may be great, but Perez has also upset his wife over how he celebrated it. Lastly, Perez issues an apology to wife after dancing with random women. Perez is no saint. After his win in Monaco, the Red Bull star was seen partying in videos. The 32-year-old was seen on a yacht, dancing with his arms around a blonde girl and getting super close to another girl as well. The star was also caught on camera kissing a woman. Considering Perez already had 2 children with his wife and recently welcomed a baby to their family as well, his actions were not so commendable to say the least. But he thinks he and his wife are all okay now. Perez took to Instagram to acknowledge the videos and apologize to his wife. He claims it was just a really bad party that he lost control of, and he's not the kind of person who would do that. He admits his wrongdoing. According to him, however, he and his wife Carola Martinez are now more united than than ever. Yikes. Let's just move on from Perez altogether and talk about other exciting things coming from the world of F1. Next, in other related news, Mick Schumacher's terrible crash, Kevin Magnussen has water trouble. Michael Schumacher's son Mick Schumacher's car split in half as he spun out of control and collided with the barrier during the wet Monaco Grand Prix. The incident occurred on the 15th turn when the 23-year-old legacy driver lost control of his car on the wet tarmac. He then clipped the wall with his front wing and spun and smashed into the Tech Pro barrier. Despite the wall being Tech Pro, it still managed to snap the car in half, with the rear wing and rear tires entirely separated from the rest of the car. The fact that Schumacher was able to leave the car by himself without any assistance shows how far safety laws have come. Modern-day Formula One cars are built to be quite safe. The Monaco GP was just absolutely terrible for Haas. Not only did Schumacher crash, but also their second driver, Kevin Magnussen, was not able to finish the race. They faced a double retirement. Magnussen was able to climb a few positions to emerge in the top 10, then sadly, the Danish was forced to retire after 21 laps due to a power unit issue. Water had leaked into the ERS system of his car, which is why he was forced to retire. Talk about bad luck. And now, Oscar Piastri finally has some more clarity on F1 decision. Oscar Piastri is the reserve driver for the Alpine F1 racing team, the team which previously raced as Renault. As of right now, Alpine is racing with two veteran racers, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. We don't even need to go deep into how good a racer Alonso is or isn't. If you've ever watched F1, you already know who the guy is. Alonso retired in the 2019 season with McLaren, but then he decided to come out of retirement to race with Alpine. Esteban Ocon is also an experienced driver who's so far driven for the likes of Renault, Mercedes, and Force India. Alpine has said that it will be deciding Piastri's in mid-July, around the time of the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. So anyways, our favorite junior racer might be replacing Alonso by the start of the 2023 season. Not because he's not good, he's great and brings the kind of experience and sophistication to the team that only the likes of Hamilton can bring. But because at 40 years old, he's a little over the average retiring age. He could also replace Esteban Ocon, but he'll have to wait until 2024. That's when Ocon's contract with Alpine ends. Whatever Piastri ends up replacing, he'll have his work cut out for him. Racing with a team like Alpine alongside a veteran racer won't be easy, especially since he'll barely be 22 at the time. Finally, my next hurts. The current F1 drivers may only be worried about the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but according to the Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz, they should also be worried about their necks. He believes that because of the current breed of extremely powerful cars with extremely high G-forces, F1 drivers could end up suffering from long-term neck problems. His neck issues were aggravated by his crash in Miami. He claimed that his opinion was based on personal experience of how he's felt after driving Ferrari's F175 so far this year. He mentioned, though, that this was his own opinion and not a result of expert advice. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.